Most people assume authority and influence are the same thing. If someone has the power to issue orders, they must control outcomes. If they don't, their role must be minor. But in real systems, authority and influence are often separate, and confusing the two leads to repeated misunderstandings about how decisions actually happen. Authority is formal. It comes from position, law, or organizational design. It allows someone to approve, reject, or mandate action. Influence, on the other hand, is functional. It determines whether actions are shaped, delayed, reframed, or redirected before authority is ever exercised. In complex systems, authority appears at the end of a long process. By the time a decision reaches someone with formal power, the range of options has already been narrowed. Information has been filtered, risks have been framed, and constraints have been established. Influence operates upstream. Authority reacts downstream. This is why many leaders feel constrained despite holding senior positions. They may have the right to decide, but not the freedom to choose. Budgets, regulations, institutional norms, and stakeholder expectations shape what is realistically possible. Those who manage these constraints exert influence without issuing commands. Influence often comes from proximity to process rather than position in hierarchy. People who participate early in discussions shape framing. People who review drafts shape content. People who define metrics shape outcomes. None of these roles require formal authority, yet each affects the final decision. Authority is visible and accountable. Influence is subtle and diffuse. It operates through persuasion, expertise, credibility, and timing. Because influence does not announce itself, it is often underestimated or misunderstood. This distinction explains why changing leadership rarely transforms systems. New leaders inherit established processes and informal networks. Even with authority, they must rely on those who understand how the system works. Influence remains embedded in routines, habits, and relationships. It also explains why resistance is rarely overt. Systems don't oppose authority directly. They reshape decisions through feasibility assessments, procedural requirements, and risk warnings. Nothing is blocked outright. Outcomes simply shift. Influence is strongest where complexity is highest. The more technical or interconnected a system becomes, the more authority depends on intermediaries. Expertise replaces command. Interpretation replaces instruction. Importantly, influence is not inherently negative. In many systems, it stabilizes operations, prevents errors, and manages uncertainty. But when influence becomes unaccountable, it can distort priorities and shield decision-making from scrutiny. Understanding the difference between influence and authority changes how we interpret failure and success. When policies stall, it is not always because leaders lack will. Often, influence within the system redirected outcomes long before authority intervened. If we want to understand who really controls outcomes, we must map influence, not titles. We must observe where information flows, where bottlenecks exist, and where decisions are shaped quietly. Authority may sign the decision. Influence writes the story. In modern systems, power is rarely exercised at the point of command. It is exercised at the point of design, interpretation, and timing. Those who understand this difference see systems clearly. Those who don't remain confused by outcomes that never match intentions. Influence and authority are not rivals. They are different layers of power. But mistaking one for the other is how systems remain misunderstood.